Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. It's just another day in standing up to the D-list celebrities who were once royal, Harry and Meghan. Today, we're going to talk about how this couple continue to exploit a meaningful charity for their selfish agenda. We'll also take a look at Netflix and their involvement in going along with this exploitative ride. Hopefully, by the time you finish this video, you will be convinced not to support Netflix when this series comes out on August 30th. Let's take a hard look at the fake humanitarians' contribution to the Invictus Games Foundation. As you can see, the Duke of Sussex is considered a patron for this organization. Now, credit should be given to Harry, as in 2012, he actually was the one who set up this Endeavour Fund under the Royal Foundation blanket when he, Catherine, and William were all working together on the various charities that they loved and supported. So before the Hollywood parasite entered into the family, this Endeavour Fund started to pick up steam as Harry was very passionate about supporting the ambitions of wounded, injured, and sick veterans in trying to help them on their path to recovery and leading a normal life again. In 2014, Harry was so impressed with the Warrior Games that he thought it should be applied to Invictus, and thus we have the creation of the Invictus Games. It was £250,000 from the Endeavour Fund that helped Harry get the Invictus Games off the ground. Keep in mind, these funds did not come out of Harry's personal pocket. They came from donations as well as support from the monarchy. So Harry was off to a really good start, and then the parasite latched on. Meghan immediately caused the fracture in the partnerships within the Royal Foundation, causing the actual separation of Prince Harry and the monies allocated to this specific initiative. The Royal Foundation made good on transferring restricted monies that was donated to the cause directly to what is now called the Invictus Games Foundation. So transferring out of the Endeavour Fund, it was about £561,000 given to Invictus Games. So let's understand how the Invictus Games Foundation is funded. Capitalizing on the experience coming from the Endeavour Fund, which was housed under the Royal Foundation, the Invictus Games Foundation is funded through partnerships, sponsorships, grants, and public donations. In the year before Harry left for California, the Endeavour Fund was part of the list of partnerships and sponsors that supported this organization. In year 2020, that Endeavour Fund support is now gone. In 2021, Microsoft and Netflix add their names to the list. I'll get into the extent of Netflix involvement in just a second. Then we have the sponsors for last year in 2022. As you can see, BetterUp has been added to the list, BlackRock, Salesforce, and Netflix returning again for a second year. Who do we see that's noticeably absent? Well, it's their patron, Prince Harry. So when we look at Prince Harry's role as patron, does it appear that Meghan and Harry think that by lending their name and face to the organization, they are adding prestige and credibility to it? Now, we have witnessed that these two are so delusional in thinking that their face, their name, really carries any kind of weight. These two are the biggest con artists, so why would anyone want to be associated with them? The Meghan and Harry Sussex brand is so toxic, why would anyone want to be associated with it? Especially knowing that this couple, all they do is exploit people, and they most certainly cannot be trusted. So Harry, being a patron of the Invictus Games Foundation, doesn't really do much for this organization. In fact, the Invictus Games Foundation is actually helping Harry keep his brand afloat, hence the reason why you see Meghan so anxious to join him in Dusseldorf. These two greedy, manipulative little pigs haven't given a dime. Featured on the Archewell website, misleading people to think that Archewell is connected to Invictus Games, in which there is no connection, aside from it coming from the production house, as in the for-profit entity, not the public charity. And a lot of people, when they hear Archewell, they think first this Fugazi public charity, not the fact that these two also have a production company and an audio company. And what makes this even more manipulative is that they promote all their projects on this one website, not really differentiating the projects, some for profit, some allegedly for charity, even though we all know that there is always an agenda behind anything that they do. I think the most infuriating thing about Meghan and Harry using Invictus Games Foundation to promote themselves is also promoting this on their website, knowing full well Archewell Public Charity focuses and supports democratic organizations who are championing censorship online. These two are very much anti-veteran for supporting and championing organizations who want to destroy freedoms, these same freedoms that these wounded veterans fought so fiercely for. I really do wish that Invictus Games Foundation understands that by having these two represent their charity is essentially slapping these veterans in their faces who served. Meghan and Harry both got paid for attending Invictus last year. It is clear they abused the Invictus account as the foundation acknowledged the 65% increase in operation costs for facilitating those games. It was reported that Invictus paid for Meghan's $500,000 wardrobe and luxury accommodations for flying private, as well as miscellaneous requests. As you can see, before the Hollywood parasite showed up, the costs to operate these games and conduct them were far less than when Meghan and Harry jumped on board and blew through the expense budget. In 2022, the direct costs was over £562,000 as opposed to in 2021 or 2018, which is a better reference considering in 2021 there were no games. In 2017 and 2018, the average cost was around £75,000 for the direct cost. So how the heck did it escalate to over £500,000? Well, I think we know where that answer comes from. And shame on Invictus if they allow this gross abuse to happen again with Meghan coming to town in a couple weeks. Only Netflix is known to have given money to this charity for this upcoming series being strategically aired on August 30th to align with the anniversary of the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. It's a gross and vulgar display of capitalizing on tragedy by Netflix. So how much did Netflix give to this charity in return for free range to exploit and manipulate the audience again and support this proxy war situation in the UK reign area? It's a very good question, but it doesn't look like it was a lot of money. In the annual report for the Invictus Games Foundation for the year of 2021, it says, in early 2021, we partnered with Archewell Productions and Netflix to create the Heart of Invictus docuseries, which will follow the organizers and a group of competitors throughout their journey to the Invictus Games, The Hague 2020, and post-games to reveal the human stories and resilient spirit. All compensation from this series, which would otherwise be due to Archewell Productions and our patron, has been redirected to the Invictus Games Foundation, significantly enabling us to continue our work. This sounds great, right? Harry and Meghan giving up their salaries and whatever money that they would make from this series was going to go directly to the Invictus Games Foundation. Sounds good on paper, but not so fast. That's not what happened. In the same 2021 report under income, it says sponsorship and program rights income through the trading subsidiary at £450,000. In 2020, it was £198,000. It says here, sponsorship and program rights income included income recognized from the agreement to create the Netflix docuseries Heart of Invictus. Although the contract was signed in the year, 40% of the income has been recognized in 2021, with the remainder to be recognized in 2022. So here's the problem, folks. We don't know exactly how much of that £450,000 belongs to this Netflix Heart of Invictus project. You see, Invictus Games Foundation has a subsidiary that is for-profit called IGF Trading Limited. So any business deals that are done, such as licensing or trading or even creating the series with Netflix, would have to go through this arm. So we don't know how much the initial injection of cash was with this agreement. If we are to look at it from high-low numbers, I would say if we took £450,000 and you did 40% of that, that would give you 180,000 pounds that they used. Maximum if the whole amount belonged to that 450,000 pounds, with a remaining of 270,000 pounds. Doesn't seem like it's that much money. Now, fast forward to 2022, and you see that the sponsorship and program rights income through the trading subsidiary has gone up to 857,000 pounds. And it says here, sponsorship and program rights income include income recognized from the agreement to create the Netflix docuseries Heart of Invictus. The remaining 60% of the program rights income has been recognized in 2022. Sponsorship revenues also increased in the new year. So we don't know exactly how much of that money came from this Netflix agreement. However, what I can say is there's a good chance that a majority of it did, because from what I understand, they had to reshoot a lot of things because of Meghan making it the Meghan show. We don't know, but in any case, does that look like a lot of money? If you put 450 plus 857 together, that's like 1.4 million pounds. To be frank, that's not a lot of money. And then you have to ask the question, how much did it cost Netflix to make this docuseries? Then the other question is this part of the $100 million pot that was given to Harry and Meghan? So if Archewell is producing or being partial producer with Netflix on this, who fronted the bill to put this together? I would assume Archewell Productions had to put their hand in their pocket to help with the costs of this. I guess the issue that I have is I don't see how money can be made from this. It's also very interesting that in the same 2022 report, it does not mention again that Harry and Meghan or Archewell Productions will be giving, as well as with Harry, all compensation from the series would be directed towards the Invictus Game Foundation. So what does that mean? Is that no longer happening? Seems like it. As much as they're spinning this in the manner of Netflix being a partner, they're not in this to do this for charity. There is some type of profit to be made, and the question is, where is that profit? And will we see it? Obviously, it has not come in from 2021 or 2022, as the numbers have not been affected drastically to say, oh yeah, that was a result of this docuseries that created all this awareness. We will know definitively next year when the numbers come out, because at that point, this docuseries is over. We should be able to gauge the approximate amount of money that was made from doing this series. You almost have to wonder, since the Netflix docuseries is going to be out, will Meghan and Harry have a Netflix crew with them when they go to Invictus? Something tells me that they're not going to be there for the week supporting the games, but only show up for the closing ceremony. I could see Harry showing up for a couple days before the closing ceremony, but definitely not Meghan. Supposedly, Meghan is going to try and get her brand back on track by hosting the life story scene segment of this closing ceremony, which is supposed to offer a glimpse into the courage and resilience shown by the injured servicemen and women who compete. Somehow, I don't think she's going to be able to connect with this crowd. Could this be her Diana Black revenge dress moment? I think so. I really cannot understand how Invictus is allowing Meghan to have a role in this, considering her past behavior. And let's not forget, in 2019, this extremely rude moment. So just to set the stage, I've shown this clip before, but it's of Meghan at the Endeavor Fund Awards in 2019, and there is a handicapped woman in a wheelchair trying to talk to Meghan about her child, who is a 9-year-old, and indicating that it's hard. And you can see Meghan's disinterest, and as a way to block this woman off and sort of be passive aggressive about it, is her putting her arm out and trying to roll up her sleeve, cutting off any type of engagement that this woman in the wheelchair could have further with the group.
I am a 9-year-old.
You really do know stuff.
Yes.
So, no. I think you know.
It's
the
stage where I actually want to strangle you. I want to say that in public. I am a 9-year-old.
You really do know stuff.
Yes.
So, no. I think you know.
It's stage where I actually want to strangle you. I want to say that in public.
This was so rude to do to this woman. And quite frankly, if it was me and I saw that, I would have put Meghan in her place. No doubt. And here, in this split couple seconds, you can see Meghan's distaste for this woman in the wheelchair. Meghan is such a jerk. She has zero empathy for anyone, and I don't see why anyone should be giving her the time of day.
I am a 9-year-old who thinks they
Yes.
do.
I think you
It's
know.
hard.
It's the stage where I actually I want to strangle him. I want to say that in public.
Megan, please stay home. Nobody wants to see you at Invictus. Anyhow, that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Just thought I'd drop this quick video for you. Let me know your thoughts. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
It was such a fraud.